I have been told that I do not know what I'm talking about. I have been told that I talk out of my hat. What do? I play with words to get a better understanding, a balance of definition of how we use words. What is entangled in doing this is understanding the letters, understanding how each can you say geometric shape, or every shape comes together from a dot and a dash. When you take a footstep, you imprint 5 markings, a heel, and a space where they call it what it is as the sole. Sole means it is the sole and it is the only. So now I take the word only. I shorten it up to one. I now take the ly, which is an add-on. There are add-ons to words. ly, y, s, e, s, t, t, y, e, d, r, e, e, r. So they become individual letters. Every individual letter in a reverse alphabet to the alphabet that most of us know in North America has 26 letters. When you combine to understand the average of your alphabet, you take the first and the last letter, which is A and Z, you add them together, it equals to 27. Therefore, your reverse alphabet addition is 2 plus 7 equals to 9. Okay, 27 divided by 2 letters, equals to 13.5. Now you have 3 numbers. Now in the number section, the numbers we use are 9 numbers. So if there's 3 of them, then that also is 27. 3 by 9 is 27. But there's 3 of them. So what's going to happen if you revert it back to the alphabet? It now becomes 3 by 27 equals to 81. So every single letter or every single number either is 9 or 27. So you use 1 letter, it's 9 or 27. You use 2 letters, it's 9, 18, and 27. Sorry, numbers. 9, 18, and 27. When you use 3, it becomes 9, 27, 9, 18, 27, 27. What that means is when you're using a number, right, and the reverse numbers is 9, so when you say 9 is because you're reflecting to the numbers. When you say 27, I'm referring to the 26 of the alphabet. When I revert to 37, I'm talking about 360 degrees. When I'm talking about 13, I'm talking about a ruler. When I'm talking about 37, I'm also talking about a yardstick. I'm also talking that in the game of roulette, they use 36 numbers. We also understand that 180 degrees is half of what is 36. And if we meet at that invisible line. And thank you, Enrique, for mentioning that, the border line. It is no here, no there, but if you're standing there at the invisible line, there you are in between 2 sections of whatever is. So if we use the word 1 or 2, I would use that as a reflective. Where else can I see the number 1? I only see a dot. I don't see any lines. But if you connect the dots, you're now connecting lines. Now, I also use games. Now, I've done a video like this already. So this is the what I do. So what I'm doing in this scenario over here is I take geometric shapes or lines and dots, and I try to better understand. Like in this one here, you can almost see like a middle, and it's dropping down to a 3D. You see, you just see an X here, right? And a 1 here. Well, if you see this scenario, right away you're going to say it's 11, because I'm going to revert to Roman numerals. There's a difference between this, there's a difference between this and this. This one can be fabricated in 4 area spaces, but it cannot be fabricated in 1 area space. 1 area space is inside 4 of these.
what is this over here? When you do the artwork, so no, let me get back to, so each one of these are cells, and every cell can be broken into 4 as a builder's code. The reason for what is the builder's code
is if you go into construction, I'm going to look at plywood, 2x4s, 2x3s, different kinds of elements in the construction in electricity. Waterworks, electricity, building materials, how everything was delivered to us, and it was told in the story. We use the 2x3s and the 2x4s. Do we see any 2x5s? Yes, there's 2x5s, there's 2x6s, there's 2x8s, there's 2x10s, and we never actually get the complete 2. Usually a 2x4 means it's 1 3/4. So there's always a missing part that gets thrown away into the dust. When the saw blade cuts it, it's lost. But we still use the number and say, hey, I got 1.78. Right? You got 1.8. The sawdust is lost. The area space now is occupied that way. So
let me just show you that when I'm calculating something, the minimum size to create this X is going to take 1 box. I cannot create all the letters that way. I cannot create all the letters. We can do N. We cannot do A, okay? A can be done this way in 2 boxes. But in reality, if I was using this paper, right? If I was using this paper, the only way for me to make my A, right, working only with 45 degrees because we have no lines, is this way. And I need a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Plus these 2 is 6 boxes. So I actually need the entire area space, right, for this A is 1, 2, 3, 4, takes 8 areas. And it's ironic that this 1 dot and this 1 letter both have 8 around it, which is told to me by this little thing over here. And it's told to me again over here. Here, they run it up in a straight line. This is another story we're going to get to in another day. So not all letters. I'm looking for my black marker again. Okay. Then so this one is because I split it up. Now my question is, should it be done that way or should it be done this way? Now the thing is, when you have a point, it means I can create rotation. So if I'm going to create rotation, right, I'm going to measure my space. I'll measure my space. Sorry about that. And now I'm going to rotate. Whoa, hold on. Now you also have to note that if I took this, okay, and I shoved it here, right, you were going to be talking about a different animal. There's something different that goes on when this is done, okay? I cannot possibly do that. It's going to be a minimum of a certain distance that's going to be done, right? That's going to be done with this. So again, we have to understand the opening here and what's going on with the length of our pen and why. And what does this mean? Above or below the borderline. As well as once I spin this, I know that, you see, this is the double of the area, right? This creates the whole area over here. But I must go 2 higher in order to create its circumference. But since there's a point here and a point here, now, okay, let me just fix this again. Okay, now I have to do this. And then I have to do this. when we're building and using area space, this is what has to be done when you take the A out. Now, because it's the A, it also shows me two more areas. It shows me one area here. And by the way, anytime it comes to the dot is a representative of Mars. The skull bones are representative of Earth. According to what I base this on, okay, is that the numeric value for Earth is 52 and the numeric value for Mars is 51. To where, but there's a little bit of play in that, to where Earth is the third planet, okay, and it has one moon. Mars, okay, is the fourth planet, right? There's only 1/3, RD. The family of TH runs all the way to 20th. ETH, IETH, birth, E, energy, time, heaven. We can say anything we want. But Mars has 2 moons. Now, Mercury has 0 moons. And Venus has, sorry, I don't know why I marked that. And Venus has 0 moons. But the planets are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when I use 1, 2, 3, and 4, I see 1 moon here. I'm going to go Mercury, right? Am I going to put it here? No. I'm going to put Mercury here. And I'm going to put Venus here. Venus, the holder of 2 moons, 1 moon passes between 2. And Mars, holder of 2 moons passes between 1. So Mercury and Mars would go together, M and M, and Earth and Venus go together. And that's where we end up with our word love. For in this scenario where V and E come together, V is the invert of E, and L is 1 and 2, and O is 1 and 5, and represents the numeric value as I see it, 51 Mars, to where this is going to represent Venus and Mercury. Or the 3 moons. It depends, because the next one is over here. Here it's 1, 2, here it's 2, 1. So here, I think I'm going to end up with Venus. And then, hold on a second. One of them is going to count more for the moons. The other one's going to count more for the planet. Okay? This is 2, 1. Venus, 2 moons of Mars into the 1 planet of Mercury connect. Right? Receivers through the sun. Right? They're the first ones from the sun, so they start transmitting, pushing it out from the sun into the sun and out of the sun. I don't know what they're doing exactly. So this is the basic thing that goes with A. My next piece, okay, is what they say as I've been understood. I've heard from somebody, so I decided to do the design. Is when you're creating, as I said, we have this or we have this. These are your first 2 formations. After that, we have the half area, which is this area over here. This one is Mars. This one over here I like to call Earth. And if Mars was introduced into it, the only way Mars can go is that way. Or that way. But when you bring them together, we end up with Mars in Earth. And one of the symbols for that is where I have this area over here, 3 by 3, 9, to where I have this area. Where is it? Where I have this area? What is 2 by 2? Ape, go, Mars. In the IE world. You can almost just say Margie. You know, they have Margie, they have Bart. You know, they have art, they have creation in the Venus world through the T gate of REICHE, Reich angels, the divided heaven. B is B13, R12. You can do what you want, but when a young child, when my son was young and he used to see like this or right, I used to come and say, hey, 12 and 13. He'd go, no, Dad, it would be B and R. So when is it sleeping? Because here's your B and here's your R. And when you have your B, right away you note that you are with the hexagon. A piece of paper has 6 sides. You see 2 sides? You see all the 6 sides? The edge here is a side as well. And there's 4 all the way around. So I'm going to take with these designs, and in fact, inside of here is where the cube goes. That Y, it gets divided up, fits the cube, and you can just see, whoop, see the design on the floor, and I have a few designs like this, many different ways that draw pictures, and they're just 36 numbers. And the way to place this comes off of the roulette wheel. 9 Lives of the Cat. What do you think? Hey, how you doing, baby? How you doing, baby? Okay, so what we're going to do here, right? And by the way, this is 3 by 3 by 3. There's 8 corners of 3 colors. There's 12 here. It spins in 3 directions. There's a total of 18 reversed and 50. There's a total of 36 around and 18 reversed. "36. 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 equals to 14, equals to 49, equals to 63. There are other, I'm not going to get into this calculation, just to note that there's 6 individual colors, and they're all connected, okay, to one spindle that holds 6 hands, 1 and 6, the half-life. Turn this 3 different ways, just the way NASA Mona Lisa does. So what happens is when we draw up this, the question is this an addition or a multiplication? Because if the planet is running on this angle, it becomes the multiplication, dividing the house in 4, to where the addition is now living on the cross, which is now the multiplication. And in the multiplication, you're going to be drawing up both N and Z because it can fit in one area. This one cannot. In this area, what we'll be drawing up, okay, is going to be the I and is going to be the H. And if we want to put them all together, we're going to draw it like this to understand our exterior and our interior. So here we have our, whichever way we want to look at it. At the same time, the reality of this letter is a D. And if you want to look at it, hold on a second, and we're going to look at it this way, and a C. But D over C creates A. So now it becomes the letter 4-3. It's also the 1. The total is 7, but the total of the total of and what it is, here's your 3, here's your 4, will create an 8. 1, 3, and 4 equals to 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 and 8 equals to what is 20. So now your gateway is in T minus counting. But that's, we can talk about that. So now, anyways, the next piece to this, right, is when I'm just going to make it larger. So just let's say this is one area. I like to do the drop down. And what this drop down is now, how can I explain it? Is it's just a continuation to get the design in. So how would I design? Here, I would design it like that and like that. Now I have a point. I can come all the way down here. The reason for that is because the end of the leg came here. So now I'm going to give it its dimension. But since I can give it its dimension this way, I can give it the dimension the other way. And you can note that this is 1/2 of the triangle showing one corner of the building. Don't forget this is just one single area, right? I took away those lines. If I did the plus sign, right, which way would I go? Would I come down this way with the plus sign? And in this one, and I can connect it this way, and now we have our cube at the top. I have a complete whole area space. Here I did not. Not the same thing. This was the plus for areas. This is the half space. And anyways, and then you're going to get the artwork. So I'm going to just make a square to make it a little bit different. And I can just do that, right? But in order to create the dimension, the third dimension, I create it like that. And now I see a building. But where else do I see this? What if I did two of them next to each other? Right? Or actually, let me do one. Let me just put the number 9. Nah. What if I just put the number 7? And then put the 0 on top? Or what if I did the L letter and put the 0 on the bottom? So what if I brought them both together? And put them together, I now get the percentage sign. Now, what happens if I drew a little bit of filling in the area space? And now we have 6 and 9 rotation. I like to say it's a rotation of the sun because the mathematics end up with this. And these two words will say Mars, sun, breath. I think birth is also inside of there. Birth is either the moon, B-I-R-T-H, 28, time heaven, 27 in the sun, and the moon, 13. Did I get birth? 28 and 27, 55, 65, 66, 67, 68. Is that what birth is? 2 and 9 is 11. And 18 is 29, 39, 49, and 8, 57. So I don't know where I get, oh, I don't know why I put 13 here. That was 2, sorry. It's 57. Whoop, it's 2. So it's 57. So we're born in the sun and the moon and Mars. But it's the quarter houses of Mars because 15 is 1/4 of 60. Now, it's also 1 1/4. 1.25 times 12. What is that answer? I need to get to 12. One of the reasons I'm going to end the video. There's so many things going on right now. Basketball, hockey, football, soccer, baseball. There's rules and regulations, and what happens, it just doesn't stop. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Don't hesitate if you'd like to help out the channel. Keep me at my desk working longer and make this my job, so that I believe that once enough of us understand and know the true knowledge of this reality, of this art and entertainment. This art is also an entertainment, the joy of life, okay? The joy of life. Eliminate the worry, know the truth, be each other's security, not needing an outside source that we have to figure out whether we trust or not. We all want to have that good vibration. Some say I'm doing Sanskrit numerology. Somebody once told me that you don't do Sanskrit, you can't speak it. No, I don't know it. I'm teaching myself something that apparently the Mayans knew also, or it came from them.
And every other thing that has ever been created will stem out from a word. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching.